so much mentally happens before you reach your long-term manifestation. And I don't mean so much as in so much time goes by. I mean so much mental growth happens. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique Davis, also known as Brown and Bendy, and here on this channel we practice flexibility of the mind, the body, and the spirit. I don't know what that was, but you're just gonna have to deal with it. Today is part two. Today's video is part two to a video that I released last week, which was all about short-term manifesting. Today we are talking about long-term manifesting, which is the big stuff, the cool stuff, the reason why people look up law of attraction channels on YouTube. Before we get into it, if you have not already, please make sure that you are subscribed and that you click the notification bell so that you can be alerted when I make a new video. Also, if you would like to join our channel and connect with us on a more intimate level, baby, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and follow these words right here on the screen. They are going to take you to a magical place, which is called the Manifestation Collective Yoga Group. You can join this group and participate in conversations, post questions, and, you know, really just get to know the Brown and Bendy community a little bit more intimately. So yeah, if that's something you're into, type the words into your URL or click the link in the description box. Okay, let's get to the video. Long-term manifesting. What a gift. Last week we talked about short-term manifesting, which can be a lot more simple than long-term manifesting simply because nothing in your physical reality changes when you are short-term manifesting. Short-term manifesting is more about navigating our thoughts so that we can understand how certain situations pan out. Long-term manifesting is more about changing our physical reality into a physical reality that we picked, that we chose, that we created, and that's what the awesome thing is about it. Long-term manifesting does not take longer because of worthiness. It does not take longer because you don't deserve it. It does not take longer because it's harder to manifest. Please, if you take anything away from this video, take this away. Long-term manifesting takes longer because on a daily basis, you are learning to understand more and more and more what you want. At the beginning of your journey, you will say, I am trying to manifest a house. And then every day, as you are learning to raise your vibration to match the vibration of a person who has the house that you see for yourself, you are learning what you want that house to look like, where you want that house to be, what stores, shops, schools, whatever are around that house. Because in order for your brain to believe that this is something that you truly want, in order for your brain to believe that this is something that is worth putting your energy to, devoting your time on manifesting, your brain has to understand what it is so that it can believe that it can bring this thing into your reality. And the most beautiful part about this is no one's giving you the answers. You're deciding, you are developing your understanding of what you want. And that is why it takes, quote unquote, so long. Now, long-term manifesting can be 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, a year, whatever. But I would just say long-term manifesting is more than a day and more than a week. Also, with long-term manifesting, there will be countless short-term manifestations that will occur to help you understand more and more what you want. Remember, we talk a lot about contrast on this channel. We talk a lot about manifesting things into our lives that we don't necessarily want. We don't take contrast as an opportunity to say, oh, manifestation doesn't work. There's no point. I should just be upset about everything that I experience. That's not how we take contrast. That's not how we take the things that occur in our lives that we don't really want to happen. Instead, we look at the contrast and we define what we didn't like about the situation so that we can learn to vibrate higher then whatever happened. So there will be manifestations, positive and possibly negative, that will happen along the journey to your long-term manifestation that will help you better define what you want your manifestation to look like in the end. Honestly, this is why I believe that people forget that they said they were going to manifest something, and then they remember years later, after they've already manifested it, that they manifested it. I think there's even a story in The Secret about a guy who had a picture of a house that he wanted, and then like 12 years later, his kid found that picture and he was like, oh my God, we live in that house. The reason why I think that happens is because so much mentally happens before you reach your long-term manifestation. And I don't mean so much as in so much time goes by. I mean so much mental growth happens. There is so much evolving. There's so much evolution. So much so that we forget the things that we wanted so badly because our life's happening. Life is happening. So with long-term manifesting, I guess the most important thing is to understand at the beginning, you're setting an intention. You're setting an intention to define what you want and to become the type of person that can maintain and attract that very thing. I want to talk about two things: why long-term manifesting is simple, and then why we can feel a lot of resistance when it comes to long-term manifesting. So first, let's talk about why it is simple. Long-term manifesting is not a test of your ability. You're not trying to prove anything to yourself. You're not trying to prove anything to anyone. Long-term manifesting is not a test of your ability, but a gift. It is a gift to yourself to get to know yourself better. In order to raise your vibration to match the vibration of a higher vibrational experience, it's very likely that you're going to have to let go of a lot of beliefs that do not serve you. That is a gift. And when understanding what parts of your belief system do not serve you, you're able to understand how your past experiences have molded who you are, so that you can let go of the vibrational emotion attached to those past experiences, so that you can continue to rise up. This is the real gift of life. Understanding that our past creates us, but it doesn't define who we're going to be in the future. That is the biggest gift of long-term manifesting. Also, by committing to long-term manifesting, you're able to consistently understand how you're used to expanding your reality. So maybe you're the type of person who's always journaling, always scripting, always saying affirmations, and you're just taking on the contrast and the good manifestations as they come, learning and growing. Or maybe you are the type of person who practices their spirituality on and off. When something more negative happens, you tend to sit in the negativity for a little while and then get back on your spiritual train. And then maybe you're the type of person who, when you're manifesting and things are getting really good, you stop because you don't know how to embrace any more expansion because it's a little bit scary. By committing to a long-term manifestation, you're really able to learn about how you choose to expand. And that is so valuable because we all manifest differently. We all define what we want differently, but how we get there is different for each and every one of us. And that's dependent on how much we believe what we're doing. The last thing that I want to say about why long-term manifesting is so simple is that there is motivation anywhere. Like I said a couple of seconds ago, maybe you're the type of person who gets a really high vibration and then you just stop because you don't really know how to continue to expand. That could have been a problem, maybe never, because books have always existed. But now we have access to more than books. We have access to books, podcasts, YouTubers, movies, documentaries, all these things that teach us how to raise our vibration. So when you are on the journey of long-term manifesting and you get to that point where you don't know how to go any further, we have the ability to place our attention in content that will kind of do the work for us, that will continue to raise our vibration, even though we don't really know how our next step what we're going to do. And then by raising our vibration through these different tools, the answer just naturally comes. And then by doing all this, we're able to continually evolve instead of going for a little while and stopping our progress, going for a little while and stopping our progress, taking 5 steps back, 4 steps forward, 2 steps back, 6 steps forward. Instead of all of that, we're able to learn how to consistently raise our vibration because we have committed to manifesting something in the long term. Resistance to be aware of. My manifestation is taking too long. It is taking too long for me to get my house. If you are saying that your manifestation is taking too long, then that means that you are not practicing gratitude. That's it. If your manifestation is taking too long, that means that you have started to place yourself on autopilot and that you're not identifying the breadcrumbs that are being given to you every single day. Every day, the universe gives us breadcrumbs that are a reflection of where we are on our manifestation journeys. And these breadcrumbs allow us to observe our mindset in regards to our manifestation. For example, a person trying to manifest a house may find that a random IKEA magazine ended up in the mail for them. They can say, I don't want this. This just makes me think of what I don't have. Or they can say, oh my gosh, look at the free vision board I just got. Last video was all about the mindset. So if you have a little bit of trouble navigating your thoughts so that you can stay in a specific vibration, I would definitely go check out part 1 to this series. When you become impatient in your long-term manifestation journey, it's fear. It's fear that it's not happening, that you're not making progress, and that you're wasting your time. So the way that we can bypass this fear is by being present and looking at what supports what we are trying to manifest. What has happened in the past week that supports what we are trying to manifest. And if you come up with nothing has happened, you are not practicing gratitude. It's a natural law of the universe. Whatever you place your attention on is what comes into your reality. So if you are saying to yourself every day, I know I'm going to have a house, you're going to see reflections of that in your reality. That's just the way life works. So if you then say, nothing has happened, I haven't seen anything that's a reflection of that, you're creating your own resistance. And that's what's going to make getting your manifestation take longer. That's what's going to make getting your manifestation take longer. Yeah. The second bit of resistance I would like to talk about is understanding whether your self-worth is expanding or decreasing. Remembering that we are talking about long-term manifesting, that means that some time is going to pass. Some time is going to pass before we get our manifestation. So as we are navigating through our mental state, are we becoming people more aligned with what we want? Or are we allowing time to convince us that we are not worthy because it didn't pop up like that? Every day, are you becoming less and less hopeful that you're manifesting? Or are you becoming more and more confident that you're manifesting? Please be aware of how time allows your thoughts to evolve, and make sure that you are becoming more confident, not losing faith. Last but not least, my favorite thing about long-term manifesting, my favorite thing about it is that you have to take inspired action. Inspired action is such a big part of long-term manifesting. As I keep mentioning, sometimes we will get to a place where we feel like we stop making progress. When we get to that place, inspired action is an amazing way to jumpstart our progress once again. So in the example of having a house, a great way to jumpstart your progress would be to visit a different state. Tour a house that resembles the type of house that you would like. The thing about long-term manifesting is that you are designing the life that you want. So if you have a lot of I don't knows, if you have a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to your manifestation, those are questions that you need to answer first before you start saying, universe, where's my stuff? If you go to tour a house and you see a fireplace and then the realtor tells you, you can get this type of fireplace, or you can get this type of fireplace, or you get this type of fireplace, and you're overwhelmed, that means that there's something there that you need to figure out about that fireplace. And that is so important, because it's okay that you have to figure out what kind of fireplace you want, or if you want a fireplace at all. It's okay that you have to do that, but do that. Explore your mind instead of sitting at home and saying, I want a house, and it's not happening. There are so many ways that you can jump into action to learn more about what will make your house manifestation more believable to you. Like I said at the very beginning of the video, your brain has to understand what it's manifesting in order for it to be believable. The how to do it part is identical to short-term manifesting. Navigating your thoughts, understanding the thoughts that you are thinking, and filtering the thoughts that do not align with the vibration of your manifestation. Identify the vibration of the manifestation that you want, and then learning how to stay in the ballpark of that vibration. Of course, we're talking about long-term manifesting. Every single day, we're not going to be vibrating higher than high. Of course. But by defining the vibration that we want to be at, on the days that we're not there, we can be aware, and we can just say, okay, today is not a great day. I'm not feeling 100. I'm not feeling super optimistic. I'm not feeling full of faith. I'm leaning into fear today. It doesn't feel great, but I know how I want to feel tomorrow. So tomorrow I will go running. Tomorrow I will listen to the CD. Tomorrow I will see this friend. Tomorrow I will do what I need to do to raise my vibration back up to where I want it to be. That's the thing about long-term manifesting. Long-term manifesting is taking responsibility for your internal state, because your internal state defines what you are bringing into your reality. The only difference between how to manifest short-term and long-term is with long-term, you just want to make sure that you do not become stagnant, like we talked about. If you become stagnant, ask yourself how you're used to expanding. What is usually the process that you use to expand your life? Do you tend to have a steady progression? Do you tend to go for a little while, stop for a couple weeks, and then go for a little while? How do you expand within your life? Identifying that, and also taking inspired action so that you don't become stagnant when you don't want to be stagnant. If you want to take breaks in your manifesting journey, that's totally okay. It's your life. But we want to make sure that we're being intentional about how we're going about our journeys. And that is where the control comes in. No, we can't control when our manifestation comes into our lives by the second. No, we can't. But I mean, maybe some people can. I'm sure some people can. But the majority of us can't. But what we can control is understanding how we manifest, so that we can learn to manifest even more intentionally. And that comes from understanding ourselves, understanding our thoughts, and understanding the vibrational place that we tend to go, so that we can control the vibrational journey that we need to be on to match the vibration of the manifestation that we want. Okay, so that is my spiel about long-term manifesting. I hope that you enjoyed both videos, part 1 and part 2, because I really enjoyed making it. If you did, give these videos a thumbs up so other people on YouTube know that they are valuable. Also, if you would like me to expand on anything that I talked about in today's video, just let me know down in the comments and I'll be happy to do that. Last but not least, please make sure that you are subscribed and that you click the notification bell so that you can become a part of the bendy bunch yourself and become a reality bender. I am so grateful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next video. I love you so much. Bye.